Hello. We got cut off last time because I'm out of space storage on my tablet. So we're
This is
back.
part
This is
2.1.
yeah. Um, so it's the next morning.
So it's Saturday morning.
So we're gonna finish talking about the Vatican.
So we left off, we just got out of St. Peter's, or the Sistine Chapel, and we were going into St. Peter's Basilica through the side door.
hmm Okay,
Claire,
so
what did you think?
it's huge.
It's really big.
It's
They said
humongous.
it was like over 200 yards from the entrance to the main altar. So if you think of it like a cross, where you come in at the bottom of the cross and then walk up. It's gigantic.
Yeah, I mean it's beautiful. It's very dark and very. I mean, I think like very Renaissance. Like everything's decorated.
Yeah, very
Everything's
Renaissance.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, much like everything else at the Vatican. Um, I guess the highlight for most people at St. Peter's Basilica is the Pietà um, statue by Michelangelo, which
Oh
is
yeah.
Mary holding the crucified. It's a sculpture, Mary holding the crucified body of Jesus. And it's beautiful. It's behind bulletproof glass. I guess someone attacked it in like the 80s. What else is there? There's
John Paul II's remains. Um,
like all the Pope.
but I mean on display, like in the
Yeah.
main area, and like Pope John, the one before John Paul II, his remains were there, and he was actually like, not embalmed, but like
Yeah.
he was there, like his body. It was kind of creepy.
He was embalmed. That's exactly what it was.
Okay,
He was
he
like
was
on
embalmed,
display.
and yeah, he's been dead like 50 years, but he still looked like a mannequin. I don't know, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, and you can go down in like the crypts under St. Peter's Basilica, which aren't. I mean, they're really. I don't know. Doesn't feel very
It's not
crypt-like.
like a crypt. It's like a swanky apartment.
But it has all like I don't know if it has. I assume it doesn't have all the popes, but it has lots of popes. Their
They have their
tombs and
altars, and
sarcophagus,
yeah,
and yeah. So that was neat. It's I mean it's a beautiful building.
it's hard to impress the size.
Yeah.
They did a few things to make it feel smaller than it is, but even so, like it just feels gigantic.
Yeah, they talked about how
They like altered the perspective of
Mhm.
statues to make them appear closer than they really
Mhm.
are. Because there's like these statues at the bottom of pillars that appear the same size as the ones at the top, which makes them look very close when in reality they're like dozens of feet apart. And like anyway, they did a few things like that, but you kind of forgot that it was large, but it didn't take very much to remember because you would look around and be like, oh man. Or like we had to like move around one of the support columns, and it took us like 3 minutes to walk all the way around it just because it's so massive.
Mhm. We didn't get to spend very much time at the main altar because
They're gonna
they
do
closed it for mass.
Yeah,
So we were there
so
for
they shoot everyone away.
probably like a minute, and then
Locked
they.
it. And then we went up. You have to pay €5 to walk or €7 to ride the elevator.
But it's kind of a trick because you still have to walk
Yeah.
350 stairs,
You
regardless
actually-
of whether you take the elevator or not.
So the elevator takes you up not quite halfway to like the roof, call it, and so you're at the roof and you get out, and the what would you call it, like the dome
Mm-hmm.
is like
The cupola.
is like right in front of you, and then you have to walk. You walk up a few steps and you go inside, and there's like a rotunda where the windows are.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at a picture, that'll make more sense. But it's like you're inside the base of the actual dome,
Mm-hmm.
which is like at the roof level,
Mhm.
and that's really high up. You're like looking down on one of the, not like the main altar, but like this other altar.
Yeah, it was cool, and they were doing mass at that point, so it was
It's really
pretty. You
high.
could, all the music and stuff.
And then if you want, which most people do,
Are you mad that I'm eating this?
No, you're ruining the video.
I know. Here, I'll move over.
It seemed like your arms while you're shoving it in your face.
No.
It seemed like most people did it. You end up going up through the dome to the top.
Like between the inner and outer wall, you like.
So there's just these sets of staircases, and they just go up and up and up and up and up. And there's like switchbacks and some spiral staircases. And at one point, you're kind of like the dome's kind of arched, obviously like this, and you're like getting to the point where like you're walking kind of sideways, like sandwiched between the two walls. But once you get up there, you get out like very very near the top, and it's really good view.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That was maybe my favorite part, was you could just see everything, like all of Rome. Like we were trying to find sites that we knew what they were, which was actually more difficult.
Yeah, we're gonna figure that. And interestingly, I don't know, I thought it was kind of interesting. Like Michelangelo, when he designed, or did he design something? I don't know, whatever. He didn't want it to have a long nave like
So
it does.
he didn't want it to be like a cross. He wanted it to be more like a plus.
Because now, when you stand in St. Peter's Square, you can't actually see the cupola, the dome, because the nave is so long in front of you. And
That was interesting. It's hard to imagine that you couldn't see it, like
because it's so big, but
it's so big. Yeah. Anyway, so we made the long trek back down, and Claire and I were about dead. Claire rode the elevator down, and I just went down the stairs, which was faster.
there was no way. I don't think my legs could have supported me.
Yeah. And then we got out in St. Peter's Square and just basically walked through it. And then we walked down like St. Peter's Square has these large walls, I don't know. And then you walk down this main drag, and we got onto a bus and rode it back down here. About collapsed. Then we made the first part of our video that you saw. Then after that died, we went to dinner, and we walked back close to where we were yesterday. I think that's the old Jewish ghetto neighborhood. Well, I wouldn't know. And we got a little bit more cash, and then we went and had dinner over there.
Yeah, nowhere takes cards. Everyone wants cash.
Yeah, a lot of people prefer cash, which is, it makes some sense for like these tiny little places that are selling gelato, but a lot of places it's very difficult. Yeah,
I guess like now, like I was telling Thomas, like everyone uses Square now in the States, so it's like
yeah, like imagine
everyone
if there
takes
was
card.
no Square and you went to like Salt and Straw and they were like no cash only, which is fine, but it's also like you go through a lot of cash, like
Yeah.
and like everything at these, like when we went up the elevator, so we needed 14 euro to go, and we like scraped together
We had
every
14
last we had 14 euro left, so it's just like that kind of adds up. So anyway, we got some more cash. We went to dinner. It was okay. It wasn't quite as good as the night before.
It wasn't as good as the night before.
I
don't know why.
We were fine.
Just was.
It
It was good.
It was good. There was a lot of doggies. That was nice.
Mm-hmm. Then we had gelato, and
Yeah,
again,
gelato.
not as good as the
Yeah,
first place we went to. We're gonna go back there. No, the first one.
So this morning we're gonna go over to the market, and then we're gonna go try and see the Coliseum.
Yeah.
And the Forum and all that stuff.
Yeah, this is kind of our other big sightseeing day. Although clearly it's like
so the first day
10
we
o'clock
had,
right now, so we're not like
the
not
first
early
day
rising.
we had like we warmed up with the gallery. Then yesterday was the big day. Then today's sort of another medium big day, and then Sunday we'll just whatever we want to do.
We've got a few things. Like we haven't seen the Pantheon yet. So
We have not seen the Pantheon. We've driven by on a bus like 6 times. So we've not actually seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
tune back in to hear about the
we'll
Coliseum.
see you tonight on the terrace. Probably.
Make it.